Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Christina at Homeschool and Grace, and today is another weekly update. Well, a 3-week update. I figured I'm getting so behind on these, I might as well just get another big chunk done and share with you what we did and what we accomplished, and then we should be hopefully wrapping up school here soon. I know probably so many of you are like done and enjoying summer, and we are having a major rainstormy day up here in the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, so summer does not feel like it's here yet. We are definitely still in spring here. So this is going to be a weekly update for weeks 23, 24, and 25. So let's hop into it. So I wanted to first share, and again, I have curriculum all around me, and hopefully I get it to everything, and hopefully this video won't be so long you're like, oh my word, get to the point, Christina. If there's a point, it's just sharing. Anyways, I wanted to share this to start with, Tortured for Christ. This is from Voice of the Martyrs. If you have not seen this movie, you need to. This is an amazing movie about Richard Wurmbrand, who was tortured for Christ, and he has a book as well. But this will change your life and make you be like, am I prepared for that? My kids prepared for this? Because it's intense, and I think that we all need to, I think as believers, we should all be watching this movie. So Tortured for Christ, I'll put a link down below, and you can go, and I think they for a little while had it up for free. I don't know if it still is. If not, if you just make a small donation, they'll mail it to you, and you can watch it, and then you own it. So that's what we did. We donated and got the movie because I thought, I feel like I should be watching this. So anyways, Tortured for Christ. Watch it. Okay, let's see here. We're going to start with my preschooler. So if you remember, or if you're new here, my preschooler is behind. I shouldn't say behind. I started her later in the year because she turned 3 in October. So she is only to week 10. So let's talk about week 10. And oh my goodness, this poor little book is getting so beat up. Okay, so she's doing All Aboard the Animal Train, week 10. So she is to learning about kitties. And she loves kitties. We have a cat, so that's always fun. So she made some fun little things. Oh, no, that's not something she made. This is just a student sheet. So she's learning about the 3 little kittens and all that. And then for this, we've been listening to the song, Oh Be Careful Little Eyes What You See, and Hey Diddle Diddle. So I found this. I have so many of these old posters. I just kind of save them in a box tucked away. So we'll point to each one as it says, hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon, stuff like that. So that's kind of fun for her. And then I have a big stack of books I thought I'd share with you that we're going to try and, we've already read quite a few of them, but we'll continue to read through them for this unit study, because each unit is 3 weeks, and you learn about a specific animal and a color and that kind of stuff. So these are all books on cats that we own. I just kind of, again, I just scan my bookcases for books. So my first one to share with you is James Herriot's Treasury for Children. You might just have some of his single ones, because I think they used to sell these as single books. So we read Moses. I hope you can see that. Moses the Kitten. I just love the artwork in here. And who doesn't love a good James Herriot story? My goodness. So that was a fun one. And there's also, I think, the Christmas Kitten. The Christmas Day Kitten. We haven't read that. We've read that one in the past, but we haven't read it yet for this unit. So, I can share a picture of it as well. Oh, there's another one. Oscar Cat About Town. There's quite a few kitty stories in here. Okay, so here's the Christmas Kitten, or the Christmas Day Kitten. This is a good story. And then Oscar the Cat. Oscar Cat About Town. So if you have this has a lot of great stories that are just really timeless to read to them. Okay, and I do have the 3 little kittens, which I like the artwork in this one. It's an old one. When was this even made? 1979. Okay, this one, the Fire Cat. This is also good for older kids, you know, 1st grade to start reading. What's it? An easy reader, level 1, whatever. Okay, these ones are fun. Mr. Putter and Tabby. So we've got Row the Boat and Walk the Dog. These are always funny ones. This is Cynthia Rylant. She does a lot of fun books. Okay, Barn Cat. Splat the Cat. The Way Mothers Are. I love this book. Okay, the art is not my favorite. It's not my favorite art, but the story is so sweet. And it's about this little kitten that is naughty, and he doesn't understand why his mother still loves him. And then the last. So you don't think I love you just when you're good and stop loving you when you are naughty, do you? That's not the way mothers are. I love you all the time because you are mine. Is that the reason? Asked the little one. That's so simple. I love it. It's a really sweet story. Okay, Cookie's Week. Paris Cat. And Cats Know Best. And on top of that, we also read the books they recommend. So we've got like A Big Treasury of Little Animals, the Bible, read a story from in here, Richard Scarry's Best Little Word Book Ever, and the First Virtues book. So those are all fun ones that we added to it. Or I shouldn't say we added to, that's what we did. So we pretty much got everything completed. We even made purple Play-Doh that So we have a schoolroom, as you can tell, and if you've seen my schoolroom video, I can link it up here. She'll get into the Play-Doh, which I see Play-Doh right now. She'll get into the Play-Doh and then not clean it up, and so I think the same day we made it, she left it out all night and it dried out. So there you go. The Play-Doh's gone. And we did not make the purple yogurt popsicles because, again, I don't have all the ingredients. And I can't stand going to the store right now. So I avoid it like the plague. So I avoid it. So if I don't have to go to the store, I don't want to go to the store. So I have not gone. There's a nice little synopsis of like why this curriculum is so repetitive and that kids really do well with repetition. And you'll probably see there's a lot of curriculums that are preschool based that are very repetitive because that's how children learn best, is by repetition. So they kind of explain that more in here. And I think that's all I have to share. So that was week 10 for my preschooler. Okay, so now we're to the week 23, 24, 25. So Voyage of Discovery for my pre-K-er. And let's see here. So we did a lot of Bible. So the Bible is every day for her age group. And so we end up reading through this whole little Bible reader in a year, which I really appreciate because I just think it's good to do. So we did that, and then I always try and find stories that I can add from this one because I loved this one growing up. It talked about Jesus goes fishing, so here's Jesus. The waves be still, because one of the stories was about the storm that he stopped, and then he walks on water. We have that story. I think we even have, the feeding of the 5,000. So there's just a lot of sweet stories I like to add from this book as well. And I'll try and link all these books below if you're interested in any of them. Sometimes I like to be able to go through and then I put them on my own Amazon wish list. Oh, I like that one. Okay. So what else did we do? Since I'm doing so many weeks, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth in my teacher's manual. Okay, back to 23. Okay, so she was also learning a lot about fish this first week, so we did this fish game. Can't really tell what I'm holding up here. So we made, I think it was 10 of these or something. Can you even see that? Hardly. So we made these little fish, and then if you drop them, yeah, they'll kind of like go swimming. Anyways, so they would go swimming, and then she made a paper plate fish. What else did we do for Bible? I love the Bible in this because it's so hands-on and interactive. It's never just like read the Bible and that's it. It tries to really help them like get it in their brain. So we did the story of the seeds, and so we made this, and we talked about like the seeds on the path, but we would pour little seeds on here, and then we explained each portion of the story. I'm doing a terrible job with this right now. I'd have to read through the story again. So anyways, about like they're happy, they'll grow, and then if they're not, because they're empty and they get plucked away, and then like they'll fall onto the path and like get trampled, and then like if you have false idols, or if you like you love money, you can't have two gods. There we go. I got it. Let's see here. Anything else? And then lastly, we did waves in a bottle for like the week when he was calming the storm. So we made waves in a bottle. So it's a lot of oil and water, and I don't feel like it turned. Can you tell? Is it moving? I think I put too much oil in it or something. I don't feel like. There it goes. Maybe you just have to do more great big waves. There we go. For each week, for her letters, so she learned about Q. So this is, you're like, what in the world is that? It's a sleeping queen. Whoops. This game she loves. So if you need a good game for a 5-year-old or 4-year-old, this is a really fun game. And all my kids love it. Sleeping Queens, I highly recommend. So she made her own little sleeping queen, and then she made, R is for, rings, and then S is for stars. And then for each of those, like the S week, we did Skittles. We did a lot with Skittles for science and for math, counting. Oh, and she made like these little stones for, was that week R? What week am I? Yeah, R. She made little rocks kind of things, and we put treasure in it. I appreciated for like the story, the week we did the seeds, we read from this about the way seeds grow. So again, every week it just, they kind of keep building on the lessons where, you know, it's not, it doesn't feel disjointed. That's what I'm trying to get at. So it very much, you know, you learn about the parable of the seed, of the sower and the seeds, and then you read about, you know, the story of the seed and how they grow, and then you do little things with growing seeds and such like that. Okay, so also, I thought I'd share these. These are from Becca, I think. They were given to me and they were already laminated and everything, but we use these for the Play-Doh. She'll trace out the letters with the Play-Doh with these. So we've got Queen, Ring, and Sun. It was funny when we did Queen. I'll have to try and find the picture, but I made it her a mask. I said, look she's a quarantine queen. My daughter, she's like, Mommy, queens do not have to wear masks. I was like, well, why? Why don't they have to wear masks? Because they never leave their homes. Okay then. That sounds great to me. Okay, so that was for that. Let's see what else. She is loving this book. So again, to go with the seeds, look at that week we did harvest time, and it was all about, you know, collecting the grain. So it just keeps building. It's just really cool how they do that. So she even told me this last week, like, this is my favorite book. Okay, and then one last thing, I thought I'd share a game that we played. And I forgot to share a surprise time. Oh well, we'll do it next time. I got babies crying. I can hear them. Okay, so anyways, so what we would do is I put these in a pile, and then she would roll a dice, and then whatever number, she would count out these, and then we would take turns with it, and whoever had the most at the end won. So that was kind of a fun game. Practice counting and such. Okay, and that was it for Voyage of Discovery. Okay, so week 23, 24, and 25 for my first grader learning God's story. Okay, let's see here. So she's still working through her books of the Bible, practicing those, learning those, and how many there are, and the Old Testament and New Testament. So that's been really good. Okay, so here's her like timeline pieces. And look at, I need to add another page. We ran out of room. So anyways, it's not perfect. I forgot about the purple strips that you're supposed to put on for, I think, well, I can't remember what the purple was. Okay, so the purple was for how long Israel was a nation and lived in their new land as a nation. But I don't know if I threw it away or what, and we just decided just to leave it out, so that's all right. I also have been enjoying when we read the Bible stories. Oh, goodness. I've been using this a lot because the pictures are really cool in here. So we got like Jericho she learned about, and the Battle of Ai, Samson and Delilah, Naomi and Ruth we read about. So I'll put this up for her to look at while I'm reading, and so she can just look at the pictures. But I don't read from in here for her. I still read from the teacher's manual, these summaries of the Bible stories. And then after we do that, then she'll go into her Bible reader and read this. So she hasn't been reading it to me as much. She likes to read it to her daddy at the end of the day. So she'll read it to him before bedtime in her bed. And how many pages? It's about 2 to 3 pages she's starting to get to, sometimes 4. She's doing pretty good, but look what happened to my poor book. I'm going to have to buy a new one for when I have a first grader again. I think it was her cat. Destroyed my book. It's like, that darn cat. Okay, let's see, what else? I think we reached day 100 during this as well. Yep, so day 100. So to celebrate for day 100, we just like counted pennies. What else did she do? She measured with a tape measure 100 inches. She did like 100 jumping jacks, I think. Or she went and jumped on the trampoline 100 times. So yeah, so that was all fun. Let's see what else. We finished up reading Tales from Cherry Lane, and I really liked this book. Again, it made me think about a lot about the 10 Commandments and the importance of them, and then also the fruits of the Spirit to think about. And like, I feel like right now we really need to remember. Can you hear that crow? It's so loud. I feel like right now we really need to remember, well, what did Jesus say? He said, you know, when he was asked, what's the most important commandment? And he said, well, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul. Now I'm going to butcher it. All your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Which I was listening to another preacher talk about, like that was the commandments 1 through 4, and then the second most important of these is love your neighbor as yourself, and that would be commandments 5 through 10. And I was like, oh yeah. And so then reading through this, I'm like, yep, that's correct. And we really need to remember what our fruits of the Spirit are and not get caught up in what is not the fruits of the Spirit. So anyways, this is a good one. She's still working through this. Her, what is this called? Her workbook. She's doing well with that. We've also got for my first grader and my fourth grader, a friend is starting a tutoring company, tutoring business, and so she asked if she could kind of test run it with my girls, my two older ones, and so we're starting to do that, which has been really awesome. It's just 1 day a week, but it kind of has someone else come to kind of do more of the stuff that, you know, help her with her reading, help my fourth grader with her spelling and her math, like kind of the areas that, you know, I might be weak on. It's kind of been nice. So I'm hoping to continue that through the summer, because typically once we get to summer, like we break and I am done, and this will kind of keep us, hopefully keep things fresh for the next year, and they are loving it. Okay, so we still are working through these. She really likes these pages where you just put in the words from up here. And we got Play-Doh in here. I mean, really, this is a house of toddlers and a cat. And nothing stays very nice. Okay, let's see what else. So we're still working through our enjoying art together, and we are enjoying it. It's one thing she does not like to skip. Okay, so we did Tahitian landscape. This one's cool. And this one, an art bouquet. Such cool art. And like once I'm all done teaching this, I'm gonna get these framed and like hang them in a room. But it's gonna be a while because I've got 3 more to teach first grade. Oh, and I will add, she did make her little a shepherd's bag, and I'll add a picture here. I'm not sure where she put it because she did save it, and she likes to carry like a little book in it. It's really cute. So that was fun to do. We did not make the lyre though. And I always just love the Proverbs. Look at this one. Week 25, fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. And like this one, like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who lacks self-control. Oh, there's some truth bombs in these. So anyway, so that was first grade. Learning God's story. Lastly, to my 4th grader. Creation to the Greeks, 23, 24, 25. Okay, I'm going to start out really quick sharing our read-alouds. We're still working through the children's Homer. We're really liking this still. Well, maybe I'm really liking it. I think they like it as well. There are some intense stories in here, especially like when he meets the one-eyed guy, the Cyclops. Gets a little creepy. But just hearing the stories are really cool. So it's a fun story. We started Theris in his town. I've heard this recommended by a lot of people. I find it boring. So maybe it gets better. We're maybe 45 pages in. And I don't know, maybe others who have read more than like 1 chapter a day. I tend to I read a chapter and we're done, but like a chapter is a page. So I feel like we'll be reading it forever. And I don't feel like it keeps our interest very well. Okay, and then we're also reading Adventures in the Early Church. We're reading this because I'm reading through Acts, and so I thought this would be a good one to read because it goes through Acts. And it's a fun little one to add in, and we've had a lot of good discussions with this. Okay, let's see here. We're still in Samuel, learning about David and Saul. And I changed up how I organize her papers some because I was getting really lazy, and I have this like filing system, and it was like getting jam-packed. So I decided to put all her stuff in folders, and thankfully I had a bunch of old folders. So this is all for her writing and art. So she made Art for Kids Hub. They had the Egyptians, so that was kind of fun. And then all her writing assignments we put in here. This one is for history. Oh, and look at an art page snuck in there. But so all her student sheets are in here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put them in a binder, or I'm tempted to get a binding machine and just kind of the papers we want to save, and that way it's thinner to store. And then this is just all her spelling stuff from Spelling Power, all the papers, which again, I've got to decide what we'll keep and what we'll get rid of, because I don't want to keep every single paper. So for this, we're still really enjoying this. I feel like vocabulary is very important right now. I feel like words are being misused, and so this is very good to learn like the roots words, obviously, and like what words mean, and looking them up in the dictionary. So we did Petros for rock and stone. I really liked, where is it? Dendron, like a rhododendron. So if you know, now I say, oh, look at that. What is it? A rose tree. She's like, what? I'm like, a rhododendron. Because it's a tree, a rose tree. So that's kind of cool. Okay, we're still working through our spelling power, and I'm still liking it, so that's a good thing. And now, like I said, that tutor, she's going to help out with spelling some to help give me one day off. Okay, in math, we're still working through Gamma, and again, she's helping her, and she's helping come up with new songs to memorize her multiplication facts, which is super helpful. So she learned about the Phoenician traders. So we did all that. Whoop. So I'm liking, she really likes it when we read this book and the Streams of Civilization. I forgot to grab it, but that really big book. She likes those. And I've been adding in this more, the archaeology book. I got this at our homeschool convention last year, and they're not having it this year. Well, I guess it's online. So anyways, when I can, I'll add this in because it's pretty cool. I want to just sit and read this for myself because I think the information is like super great. It's a pretty cool book. So I recommend that one. I'm still really liking language lessons for today. So she was working on copy work, letter writing some more, learning verbs. We're memorizing poems. So I just find this to be a really gentle way to learn those language lessons for today. I've always enjoyed this, so we've continued on with that. We've gotten behind again on this writing skills. She's doing well with it when we get to it, but I feel like I think I'm getting summaritis, and I'm just not being as diligent to make her do it as I did at the beginning. So we've gotten kind of behind. I'm thinking she's got one lesson to finish up. It's actually the one she should have been on, so 45. So I may just have her finish that up and then call it good for the summer. Or I'll see if her tutor wants to help her with that. Let's see here. Okay, we still have not been doing our science, unfortunately, but we have still been listening to our Handel music, and she's been working through God in the History of Art. And someone asked me to make a do a review video of this and like a walkthrough, and I've got to do that. I haven't done that yet. So she did this. She created her own diptych. I don't know what that is. So they were stories from the Bible, so she did that. She did objects around the house. She didn't get very far in her nature study. And we have not pulled out the art cards yet. So that is another thing we got behind on. But otherwise, we're really liking this. So that was all for my 4th grader creation to the Greeks. So thank you so much for sticking around till the end of this video. I know this was a lot of information. It's a long video. But let me know if you have any questions about what we're working on, or if you have video ideas maybe for me to post. If you want to see anything specific, any specific curriculum, or more of a review on each. I'm hopefully going to be wrapping all this up soon this year. Like, we are so close. We're not really to only week 25. We're almost to week 30s, which still feels far behind, which was not my goal, but man, Corona and everything else has totally like made my brain difficult to get stuff done. And I also have wanted to make a video on schooling with toddlers, and schooling with toddlers is no joke. It is hard work. It is. She's getting to the point where she's getting a little better about not climbing on desks while we're trying to do school or stealing papers, but we're still working with her on that. So anyways, if you like this video, here's some other ones to check out. Here is our curriculum choices for next year, and here's a playlist of all my weekly updates. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you at the next video. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.